China is arming Iran. This is continuing to escalate. The Federal Reserve leaves rates unchanged. We're talking interest rates. Some people thought they were going to drop, and OpenAI hacks another company. People should be panicking right now. This is the Foundation current events for July 30th, 2026. I am Sot L, seeker of truth L, speaker of truth L. And let's get right into it. Be sure to check out welcome to thefoundation.com. At minimum, sign up for the email list. It's interesting. Bots are signing up for the email list. I think that's hilarious. But hey, we still got to kick them. Looking at silver right now is $59 and about 7 cents. We have a solid consolidation happening right now. But regardless of what's going on, dollar cost average, $25, $50, $100, whatever you have. Every 2 weeks, every month, go and purchase the amount of silver you can. It adds up very quickly. Spot price for silver Eastern Shanghai price, $59.10. The futures, $59.34. So you see the difference between the spot price of silver really getting close between, the futures of America. But the Chinese spot price is $65.85. So, that gap, that delta is narrowing over time. We've just been watching it. Let's move forward. Increasing number of U.S. families took on debt, tapped their savings to meet food needs. Many American families are struggling to make ends meet on their incomes alone and have resorted to credit cards and payday loans, buy now, pay later options for groceries, according to nonprofit research center Urban Institute. The findings are based on a survey of 18 to 64-year-old working age adults conducted in December of 2025. So we're already 7 months past that. Thereabouts, about 8.7% of adults said they used a credit card for groceries and were unable to make the minimum payment, up from 7.1% in 2023. The Urban Institute said in a July 13 report, this suggests, quote, worsening financial distress, end quote, among families. The report highlighted the groceries are one of the largest household budget items for families, and that food costs have jumped by about 32% over the past 5 years, posing a challenge for many households. And I don't know anyone whose income has increased 32% over the past 5 years that are working, that are actually in the workforce. Not W-2 wage earners. Adults who reported that their grocery costs increased significantly last year were now likely to use their savings or credit to buy food. According to the report, 51.3% of adults said grocery costs rose a lot during the 12 months preceding December 2025. My apologies for that. Not looking good. Moving forward, 2 key takeaways from the Fed's unusually unpredictable meeting. It's unusual. It was unpredictable, I guess. The Federal Reserve's Chairman Kevin Warsh. I'm just going to say Warsh. Is already getting the, quote, family fight, end quote, he called for. And he's leaving it up to Wall Street to choose between dueling narratives. The Fed yesterday, held its benchmark lending rate unchanged at a range of 3.5% to 3.75% for the fifth consecutive meeting. With the persistent conflict in the Middle East clouding the outlook for inflation. Unsurprisingly, the Fed's latest decision was not unanimous, with Fed Presidents Beth Hammack of Cleveland, Neil Kashkari of Minneapolis, and Lori Logan of Dallas dissenting in favor of a quarter-point rate hike. So they wanted to hike them. There are people saying it was going to be lowered, it's going to be increased. Lots of that stuff. Policymakers who have already signaled that the Fed must be tough on inflation. The latest descents for rates to head in one direction were the most since September 2016, but Warsh said he doesn't see that as a bad thing. It's unusual. Rates stayed the same. They didn't increase. Moving forward, why Americans are leasing fewer cars. Did you know this? You know anybody that leases cars? I always thought that was kind of weird. But this is the age. Vehicle leasing has declined in the United States in recent years, curbing what has long been a preferred route to new wheels for many car shoppers. Before the pandemic, leasing accounted for around 30% of the new vehicle market in the United States, according to research firm J.D. Power. That percentage fell to 17%. Wow, that's almost in half. During the post-pandemic car shortages, and leasing has still not fully recovered. In the first half of 2026, leases accounted for 23% of new car deals. Why? Why is it happening? Why is it happening? A big reason for the decline: automakers have gotten stingier, unwilling to offer low monthly rates that historically enticed buyers to lease. Shoppers returning at the end of their term often are presented with monthly rates on their next lease that are a few $100s higher. Quote, the customer still has a desired lease. The big challenge is getting the customer to accept the much higher payment. End quote. This is David Faraz in New Jersey. I try, y'all. A New Jersey General Motors dealer. The declining leasing has contributed to a broader affordability crunch for U.S. car shoppers and crimped the flow of returning customers to dealerships. The lack of cheap leases has pushed some buyers to instead stretch their financing terms, sometimes to as long as 7 years. I don't know. I'm not doing a 7-year. Nope. I'll buy a 1993 Civic before I do anything like that. But here we go. What happened? Y'all stop. Iran to get Chinese shoulder-launched missile system in weeks. Uh-oh. Iran is expected to receive within weeks a first shipment of out of up to 400 Chinese-made shoulder-fired air defense missile launchers. Three sources familiar with the deal told Reuters as it rebuilds its defenses amid war with the United States. The purchase, valued at 60 to 70 million, is one of Tehran's largest known efforts to strengthen its short-range air defense since the outbreak of its war with the United States and Israel, which exposed gaps in Iran's ability to protect military sites and strategic infrastructure. The contract covers the purchase of between 300 and 400 manned portable air defense systems, including Chinese-made QW-12 and FN-16 missiles. The deal was signed with Zhongqing Baosheng International Investment. Y'all know I try. A Hong Kong-based company that the sources said was acting as an intermediary between the Iranian side and the Chinese supplier. That doesn't sound good. Does it sound good? Doesn't sound good to me. Disney reportedly lays off hundreds of employees. Pixar hit hard despite blockbuster success. Disney laid off several hundred employees Tuesday morning across multiple divisions, with Pixar absorbing the largest share of the cuts. Pixar is the company that, what's his name, Steve Jobs started when they fired him from Apple. I believe I'm correct. At least 116 employees were laid off at Pixar's Emeryville, California headquarters, according to The Warp, citing sources. Disney Entertainment Television, Disney Studios, and ESPN were also affected by the latest round of workforce reductions. There's a lot of people, commentary, talking heads on ESPN that are being let go. I think the most recent one was Brian Clark. What did he say? He said something about his name. I'm not going to repeat it. It was, I don't know if it was funny or inappropriate. Still, the cuts also mark Pixar's largest round of layoffs in the last 2 years, despite Inside Out 2 becoming the highest grossing animated film of all time, with $1.69 billion worldwide in 2024. They don't care. We get money, you still don't get job. It's that simple. Visa slashes thousands of jobs in efficiency push. Visa on Tuesday announced plans to cut 7% of its workforce, or around 2,600 jobs, as the payment processor moves forward with a push to operate more efficiently And it's probably translated into artificial intelligence. The job cuts are expected to primarily affect technology and product teams. Hmm. Sounds like artificial intelligence. Quote, I have deep conviction that we are doing what is right for Visa, our clients, and our partners as we continue to focus on driving efficiency across the company in order to reinvest in our highest potential opportunities. End quote. Visa CEO Ryan McElnerney. McElnerney. That's I like it. Wrote in a staff memo. McElnerney said Visa needs to keep evolving in how it operates to seize growth opportunities and stay ahead of the industry changes with the emergence of AI playing a key role in the shift. I told you. I told you. I don't pre-read these, y'all. I'm just, I just be going by what I know. Check this out. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman addresses AI fears. Let's check this out together. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, what do you say? Capability. Oh, he understands. He understands if you're freaked out. The artificial intelligence was supposed to be in its own, what they call them, sandbox with no internet. No internet. They gave it questions to answer. Instead of thinking about the questions, it broke out of its box, got internet, and then hacked into another company. I, but guys, he understands. Apple will now let you lease your next iPhone or Mac instead of buying. Remember when I was saying this? This is the new thing. This is the new thing. There are plenty of things you can lease: a car, an apartment, an office. For example, now you can add your next iPhone to that list. Apple is launching a new leasing program to make iPhones, Macs, and other products feel more affordable at a time when electronics prices are climbing and consumers are holding onto their devices longer. Apple is partnering with a payment platform, Klarna, on the program, which will be available in the United States starting Tuesday through retail locations online and in the Apple Store app. iPhones and Apple Watches can be leased on either 12 or 24-month basis, while Macs and iPads will have a 24 or 36-month lease. Ooh, look at all these products that are eligible. Are you excited? Apple's cheaper products like the iPhone 16, MacBook Neo base, iPad, and Apple Watch SE are not part of the program. You just, you got to come up straight up with all that money. The new leasing plan replaces the iPhone upgrade program, which allowed consumers to swap out iPhones after making 12 monthly payments. The new plan aims to apply a similar concept to a broader range of Apple products while offering more flexibility in payment plans and lower monthly costs. The cheapest iPhone leasing option is $18 a month, while an iPhone upgrade plan starts at about $42 a month. Ooh, you can lease and rent your phone. I'm not doing it. And we have Amazon's Zoox wins first U.S. approval for paid robo taxis without human controls. Um, how you feel about that? Zoox won U.S. approval yesterday for limited commercial deployment for its novel steering wheel free robo taxis, a first for the autonomous ride industry. The exemption from National Highway Traffic Safety Administration rules requiring human controls, first reported by Reuters, marks a milestone for companies developing robo-taxis from the ground up, rather than modifying conventional cars under safety regulations written long before self-driving technology emerged. They're just going to start making cars without driver controls. That's what's going to happen. Along with Zoox, whose electric carriage style vehicle has two rows of inward facing seats and a top speed of 75 miles per hour, others such as Tesla and Alphabet's Google Waymo are racing to expand autonomous ride hailing services in the United States. National Highway Transportation Safety Administration Administrator Jonathan Morrison told Reuters that Zoox had received clearance to commercially deploy about 2,500 vehicles in each of the next 2 years. So 5,000, 25 one year, 2,500 the next year, 2,500 the first, 2,500. You know what I'm saying. The agency said it determined the vehicle is as safe as an equivalent vehicle meeting federal motor vehicle safety standards that are being waived. Zoox cannot sell any of the vehicles to the public. Quote, we can say pretty clearly that the systems in place on the Zoox exceed the equivalent performance requirements of a compliant vehicle, but we still want to make sure that the automated driving system will operate appropriately, end quote. Wow. We have the ability to pull the exemption if we see major safety issues, end quote. I don't know. What do you think has to happen for that to, hey, listen. Here it comes. It's happening. Are you excited? Are you nervous? AI is breaking into other companies and it's going to be driving you around. That's it for current events. Y'all enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It's very important. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow on another episode of the current events. Peace, y'all.